Hi, welcome to this introduction to Power Framework, a rich project portfolio management solution built and deployed in the Microsoft Cloud to unleash the power of the Microsoft platform that you already own to address the challenges of your PMO, your portfolio, or transformation office. This solution is the product of Program Framework. We specialize in enterprise project portfolio and risk management in the Microsoft platform, and my name is Gero Renker. I'll be delighted to show you around. Now, Power Framework is a complete enterprise project and portfolio management solution for the whole project journey from initial idea to successful business outcomes. It covers strategic portfolio management, all about selecting the most strategic projects and making sure we are creating a deliverable roadmap, and then project management and governance for successful project delivery. All of these features supported by rich reporting out of the box, artificial intelligence features, and automation. Before I jump into the demo, let me briefly explain what Microsoft Technologies Power Framework is built with and how that would benefit you. The application itself is built with Power Apps so that your app can be adapted and configured without limits in a rapid and affordable way. Reporting happens with Power BI. You might be using it already. It is the world's leading reporting technology and really will enable your own report writers to create custom reports ad hoc. Power Automate helps us implement workflow automation. It comes with hundreds of connectors to connect your PPM solution to other systems and break down silos. All the data is stored in Dataverse. This database is not hosted by us or any other third party. It goes into your own Microsoft Cloud, which you have already secured. So massive benefit to rapid onboarding and IT security. And we have the opportunity to deploy Power Virtual Agent, many other AI-enabled services. And we can rest assured that our platform is future-proof, with Microsoft being a leader in artificial intelligence. And then we have plenty of other Microsoft services that your teams already use every day that we will use and orchestrate for a connected and collaborative experience. Okay, time now to jump right into the application, and we're going to start with a view of projects that's presented to us. Projects listed here with a chart on the left giving me a count of projects by portfolio. As you can see in my demo system, I have 3 portfolios. I can use this as a filter to actually filter on the projects within a portfolio. I'm going to group my projects by program now. So out of the box, a 3-tier hierarchy with projects reporting into programs and those reporting into portfolios. And there's plenty of functionality associated with these containers. Financial management, for example, we can store budget at portfolio, program, and project level and monitor financials at all of these levels. Risk management, equally capture risk at project, program, or portfolio level and escalate up and down. Reporting, needless to say, I'll be able to show you dashboards with aggregated information at portfolio level, allowing us to drill down all the way down to projects. Now I'm going to pick a project here just to give you a brief view of what's behind it. So here we are now looking at the details of a project, which is currently at green status. It's in the execution stage of my project lifecycle. Again, completely configurable stages of my lifecycle. It's been there for 8 months, and as a project manager, I might come in here now and maybe check some risks or submit a new status update, or indeed view the project status report that's available right here as a single pager with all information summarized, activities, red, amber, green, issues, risks, milestones, and so on. Now, everything you see here, the stages of the project lifecycle, all these different tabs with different information registers behind them, each individual form, everything is available for customization to configure your specific information content. Let's go right to the beginning of our life cycle and ask, how do we take in new projects? We can, of course, create a new project right in the system itself, but really you have an opportunity to connect to sources of project demand and ideas raised by your user community in other places. So let me show you an example here. We're using a completely configurable Microsoft form published in Microsoft Teams to gather project requests. And we can now invite any Microsoft 365 user in your organization to submit requests via this form. The beauty is they can all be given instant access to this. They're already users in the platform. And we can use this form for free, no additional license costs. We just need to fill in the form, click submit, and the data will be picked up by Power Automate to create the project idea in Power Framework itself. And this is just one example. You could equally connect to your service management system and ask for project requests to be submitted via your service desk, or maybe connect to a CRM system. Up to you. And this kind of connectivity benefits many aspects of Power Framework. Here now is a project idea that was submitted by someone via the form we just saw, and their name and date of submission are recorded here. I'm now impersonating someone in the portfolio office. I would have received an automated alert to say that this idea needs to be looked at. And I am reviewing this content and I'm going to augment information as necessary. For example, I can predetermine a project type, which may be set up with a specific project lifecycle of its own. Here we call it project track. And when I change it from light track to full track, you can see a benefits realization phase being added at the end of its life. And there are other settings in the system that control project type specific processes. And of course, again, these types of projects and processes would be custom configured to match your requirements if you were to implement this system. Now, as a reviewer, I've now decided to take this idea to concept, meaning I will be gathering further information and turn it into a formal business case. And to do this, I'm now going up here and progress this project to the next stage. I might say, no, I'm going to reject this, in which case you could see this project would end up as a rejected project. But I have decided I'm going to take this forward to the next stage. And you can see these dialog boxes. They're obviously, again, configured throughout these stages to ask me the right questions and confirm before I progress. As we now refresh the screen, we can see that suddenly new information registers tabs at the top here have appeared that now invite me to supply all the information that my business has deemed relevant in order to define a business case. So for starters, we might need to consider the risks that are associated with this project. And I can build up here a risk log that will, of course, stay with the project throughout its life based on a form that we provide that is entirely configurable. And as you would expect, there's plenty of out-of-the-box reporting to go with it. And same is true for issues. Any issues we're aware of already, let's start put them on the issues logs. We can also create a benefits register, which will be the basis for outcome tracking and later stages of the project. But I now want to focus on the financial side of my project and do some cost planning. And I'm doing this using this wonderful spreadsheet-like feature that helps me break costs down into categorizations that are standardized for my organization. They're configured, which eventually will allow me to report across all projects. Now I can modify these figures here at financial year level, or indeed calendar year, or quarterly, or monthly, and could type in here a cost for some licenses that we're expecting to purchase for this project. However, you see other amounts with a light blue background, and these amounts actually have more detail behind them that could actually be pushed into this calculation from other sources. If I click on the 7,000 here, that is actually an amount that came in from resource demand, another tab that we're going to explore in a minute, and is the cost of a business analyst seamlessly pushed into this cost forecast calculation. In future, we could be recording actual costs against this project and monitor variance, and those actual costs could actually be harvested from a financial accounting system. So the cost is being built up here, and I can monitor those using built-in charts. And as we said, some of that cost coming in from resource demand. Now, resource demand is a tool to help us build a plan of the resource roles that we are going to need for this project. And now let me add another one here. Let's say we need someone from the change team fairly soon. Let's put some 5 days in for September. Now that will add a cost, as we've already discovered. And this can now also be submitted to a resource approval board and will enter the organization's demand and resource utilization plan. Let's not forget that we are dealing with a lot of project proposals on top of projects already scheduled for delivery. We don't know if and when a lot of these are going to happen, and wouldn't it be good if we could play with the data and figure out possible scenarios? And that's exactly what Power Framework's modeling feature does for us. We create models with selected projects that we wish to manipulate, shown at the top. And at the bottom, we see our resource heat map of remaining capacity by role over time. In the top section, I will apply what-if changes, such as simulating a project being cancelled. And I will see the impact of that with instant updates to the resource heat map below. There are different types of what-if simulations I can apply. I can pretend to cancel a project altogether or move it, change duration, or split a project to say, put it on hold for a while and then resume. I can review the impact on the data, comparing before and after, both in terms of resource and financial impact. I can then clone a model, create different scenarios, which I can then compare to support decisions in terms of portfolio structure and timing, to end up with a portfolio plan that is actually deliverable. But hey, we better get back to finishing off that business case. With the scenario planning, we may have identified when we could possibly deliver this project, but we have yet to get it approved. Part of the approval process is usually the creation of standard documents, getting those signed off, and they will stay on file with the archives of the project. Good news is that we have full document management through integration with SharePoint and Microsoft Office. We can provision document templates, of course, but better than that, now that we have captured all this data to describe our project proposal, it would be annoying and time consuming to retype it all into Word documents. Luckily, we can create those documents automatically with the data we have entered. And here is an example. A project initiation document, and all the information written in blue is filled in from the data we entered in the application itself. So here's, for example, the project narrative that we captured. We see benefits, we see risk, we see financials, and so on. While we're on the topic of documents, we can also point out that we have full visibility of document compliance. You can define your expected standards of document types and sign-off status, and then we have reporting to instantly identify projects that don't comply, saving you lots of time identifying those. Now, we've described the investment needed for this project in terms of money and resources. We described the positive outcomes we expect to deliver via the benefits register, but to further support the prioritization and selection process against other competing initiatives, let's provide this proposal with some strategic scores. Here we see our organization's strategic drivers that are relevant for this portfolio, and we can score this project proposal against them. So this project would primarily support our strategies to make cost savings and improve business processes. These drivers will be weighted for the respective portfolio that this project will come under, as illustrated by this dashboard. For the product development portfolio, our strategic driver of improving customer satisfaction is weighted higher than any other. So any project that scores well against this driver will be favored for prioritization. This dashboard shows us project proposals now ranked in priority order. And the initiative at the top here has the highest weighted score with quite a low potential investment, so provides the best return on investment and should be signed off urgently. So this is the sort of reporting that will support executive decision makers in making data-driven investment decisions. And with that, we'll end up with projects in delivery. You may remember me briefly showing you what a project in delivery looks like right at the beginning. Well, let's return to this project and explore how the delivery team might be equipped to collaborate, plan and track the task, and work with project information. So here it is again. However, we are now seeing this application embedded in Microsoft Teams. You see a Teams channel just for this project, and this is something that could be automated, the creation of a channel or an entire Teams environment for a new project. You can see there is a few more here on the left. And you can see in this project channel, we have various tabs of content at the top. And we have, of course, a project chat. And then here is the project plan. And for this project, the chosen planning tool is Microsoft Project for the Web. Easy to use, powerful, highly collaborative. Here you see the task list with summary and detailed task. Let's explore the full detail of a task. So a side panel opens up with all the task information. And one reason it is so collaborative is in the fact that you can have task-related Teams chats that stay on file. Some of the other views available for my project plan here is my board view, allowing us to move tasks around by different buckets. Similarly, our people view showing me tasks by resource and tracking incomplete tasks and so on. And here is my timeline view, rather nice, showing me a Gantt type view of my project plan, but this is quite interactive, allowing me to create new dependencies or indeed modifying the duration of task and so on. So Microsoft Project combines useful and usable functionality with ease of use and being highly collaborative, as I said. But different types of projects or teams may need different tools to plan and track their work. And Power Framework can indeed integrate with other tools too, such as DevOps, Project Online, and therefore Project Desktop, Microsoft Planner, or indeed non-Microsoft tools like Jira. So you can start to see how Microsoft Teams is the place where people come together with the tools that they need to deliver our projects successfully. And tools can, of course, also include SharePoint for files and documents, reports that can be published right here in Teams, and even the timesheet feature of Power Framework, allowing teams to capture actual hours for projects and other work, as well as non-productive time. Timesheet approval mechanisms are built in, and actual approved timesheet hours can easily be viewed by the project managers in their projects, and actual cost is, of course, updated too. One more feature to mention that can be made available via Teams is our new roadmap tool. It allows us to show roadmaps as collections of programs and projects and share those with stakeholders who can, of course, use Teams chat to discuss them. Let's expand this view. We can choose to show organizational events at the top and even allow the addition of pseudo projects to picture potential initiatives. And then we can explore milestones and relationships or dependencies between projects. This really is a completely interactive Explorer tool. For example, we can see associated data such as related risks, or even drill through to the full detail of a project that interests us. So an amazing feature to help us visualize our roadmaps and communicate the plan to others. Finally, one subject that is, of course, highly topical right now is artificial intelligence. Microsoft leads the field in making AI features usable and integrating them into the platform. An example is this Copilot feature, which I have activated here, and this allows me to answer questions in everyday language, and it will analyze the data to come back with answers. So I want to see issues with expired due dates, and it finds them and gives me the links right there, so I navigate to any of these issues records instantly. Power Framework as a product is all about making best use of these assistants and delivering the AI advantage out of the box. As we are now coming to the end of this presentation, let me summarize why Power Framework might be the right tool for you, particularly if you are a Microsoft customer already. Any application you would consider needs to have the broad functionality that you need. Now, I have only shown you a fraction of the features that are available in Power Framework, so we do really cater for most use cases out of the box and then have tremendous opportunity to configure to your specific requirement. The biggest challenge with PPM tools is usually adoption, and by placing the solution in the Microsoft platform, your team are far more likely to adopt it because it slots in seamlessly into their everyday tools. And that is a big advantage of the single platform approach, but there are many others, such as IT security or avoiding the risk of PPM tool itself being a silo by sitting in a separate cloud. A big point also, is this a future-proof platform? And Microsoft clearly is, and that is illustrated through their current leadership in terms of artificial intelligence, which can instantly benefit PPM. Also very important, there is a discussion about your own journey within this tool to be had, and there's great opportunity, of course, to limit features to begin with and then grow. Overall, I hope you can see the potential for collaboration, integration, automation, and business intelligence with huge opportunity to transform your world, to help you support strategic decisions to select the right projects and then deliver them well. One last point, let me tell you that Power Framework also features an enterprise risk management application that will integrate with the PPM application we've just seen to integrate risk managed at the enterprise functional level with project risk. And with that, I thank you for joining this presentation. This has of course been highly summarized. And if you would like to find out more, then please get in touch and let us set up a personal detailed demonstration. Easiest way to do this is to use the Book a Demo link at powerframework.com.